Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about the connection of our bodies to our souls and to our minds. So, for our human experience, we are gifted this wonderful body, this miracle of a body. And part of our human experience is to acknowledge and to appreciate and to act like our mind, body, and soul are one, because they are. Our spirit is in this body, and our mind is a part of this body and is a tool for us to use. And our bodies are also a tool for us to experience this life. And that is what the human experience is about. We experience it through this body. Therefore, it is so important to tend to your body. And the thing that I think that is a common misconception is that there is a blanket way to take care of your body. However, the truth is that no body is the same. Every single body that exists on this earth, that ever has existed, that ever will exist, is unique in some way. Therefore, the way that we care for our bodies is going to be different. And the best thing that we can do is just to try different things and to bring our awareness to what we're trying and how it affects our lives and how it makes us feel, most importantly. Because when we are taking good care of our bodies, of this blessed vessel, we feel better. We are feeling the best. And yes, we are human, so it doesn't mean that we are meant to be robots, that, you're not here to, eat a certain way and live a certain way, and that's the only way there is, and that's the only way you're going to get to where you need to be going. That's not true. We are here to experience things, so it's okay to experience and to indulge sometimes. But what is most important is what you do most of the time. Consistency is the most important thing. So you need to try different things. You need to try different diets and be aware of how it makes you feel. Like, okay, I feel the best when I am eating a certain, say you feel best when you eat more plant-based, or you feel better when you eat lower carb, or so you don't want to buy into these trendy diets, but you can use them as guidelines to certain ways to take care of your body, if that makes sense. So let's take the all popular ketogenic diet. Now, the ketogenic diet could probably serve a very small population very well. Excuse me. It's a very specific group, and I know that it is, some medical illnesses are served best by a ketogenic diet. However, for the most of us, for the whole population, a very strict ketogenic diet is not the healthiest diet. And also, when I see these ketogenic diets that are getting all of their sources of fat from like butter and like cheese, things that should be eaten in moderation, it just doesn't make sense that it's healthy for you in the long term. But you might feel better when you eat a little bit more fat. It might help to satiate you, and it might help to keep you from overeating. So you want to experiment with that. You don't have to get the strips and make sure you're in ketosis and go through this whole thing if you don't have a really strong driving factor behind them. You kind of want to see what resonates to you. Like, to me, eating a ton of fat doesn't resonate with me. I feel really good when I am eating more protein based and fruits and vegetables. And so I want to go back and when I said that there was no blanket way to eat, the only thing that I feel like is kind of a blanket thing for people is well, I guess there's two things. To limit the processed food, even if it is healthy processed food, it's still processed because I'm so sorry. Excuse me. The further you take a food away from nature, its most natural way, the further, the more of a chance there is that, the compounds might break down, you might not absorb the vitamins and the nutrients the way that it's supposed to. So that's why even healthy processed food is also to be kept in moderation. The second thing that I think that everyone is a blanket thing for everyone to a way of eating is to eat seasonally. I'm a huge, huge, huge advocate of eating seasonally, and that goes for your fruits and vegetables. And it takes a little bit of time because if you have no concept of this and then you go to do it, you're gonna have to kind of like check in on what is in season currently. I actually have a free resource for this on my website, yourmodernalignment.com. You can download it, and it has all the different fruits and vegetables that are in season during the different months. And yes, it can like change slightly depending on like where you are. However, this is kind of like a little bit general, and if you wanted to get more specific, you could research what is in season in your area. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to find a local market that sells locally produced produce. So this way you don't have to really think about it too much, but you do have to ask, because even a lot of these small markets are now starting to carry things that aren't produced locally. So first of all, you want to be eating in season. Second of all, if you can get something that is locally grown, that is the best thing. That is top. That is even more important than eating organic. If you can get something that is locally grown, I will choose a locally grown produce over an organic produce, even if it's on the Dirty Dozen list, any day of the week. There's just so many, the scale is just tipped in the local produce's favor, because when you buy something that is produced locally, you're getting something that is probably picked more at its peak, so the vitamins and the nutrients and the minerals are just more abundant in that plant. And when you also get it locally, there is way more of a chance that it is in season, so you really don't even have to think about it. So that is like eating seasonally and minimalizing your processed food intake are the two blanket things. Otherwise, it's kind of, and people don't want to hear this, but it's trial and error. You have to see what works for you. And I would when you're trying things, I would give it a month or two before you make the judgment. You don't want to switch your diet for a week and then be like, well, this isn't working for me. So you want to try different things for a month or two, and the biggest thing is your awareness to how you feel. Like, oh, I feel better. I have a little bit more energy, or it's easier to get up in the morning, or I'm just loving eating like this. It just makes me feel good. You don't even have to define it. And another way that we need to care for our body that is so, so important is movement. We are energetic beings, and energy likes to flow. Stagnant energy is not what we want. I was going to say that it can end up being harmful to us, but it just feels a little bit like a judgment. But energy needs to flow. That is just the natural state of energy. And when you don't move your body, it kind of blocks that energy from flowing in certain ways. So going for a walk or lifting weights or different things like that helps to let that energy flow. And it trickles into caring for your mind in the way of, if you are ever stressed out or if you are ever facing a problem, if you can go for a 30-minute movement session, whether that be a walk, a run, lifting weights, Pilates, anything, you will find that when you return to that problem, that you will most likely have the solution, or it just won't be stressing you out as much. And the reason for that is you can think about a stressor or a problem in your mind, like say it's like a big rock sitting on your mind, a big rock of energy. When you move your body, you allow that energy to disperse, therefore increasing the surface area that rock of energy can spread out over. Therefore, it feels much more manageable. Therefore, it feels not as much of a problem, not as much of a burden on you. That's why movement really, really helps your mind when you're stressed out, because it allows that stress to spread out. And then it keeps the energy flowing. Therefore, it allows it to flow through you and then to new energy to flow into you. So you really want to keep the energy moving. So that is my message for today about your mind, body, and soul, and particularly taking care of your body, of this vessel. This is our only permanent home. This is the only body that we get. So we need to love it, we need to take care of it, we need to nurture it. And I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Anne from Modern Alignment, and I will see you soon, my friend.